Hello, and welcome to another chapter of a tome pulled right off the shelves at the heart of the Jakuls. As always, I'm your qualified host, Lothran, and there's ever so much more data to relay. So let's get to it, shall we? Go grab a filling meal, settle into a cozy spot, and pay accurate attention to Fleet Part 45, an odd conversation. Vilivin looked down. The edge of the infinite slab of stone fell till it stretched and warped his very ability to even understand the scope of what he was looking at. Vilivin turned back to the necessary yet difficult work at hand, forever climbing up this obstacle, perpetually seeking to claw his way ever further to the fictional peak of this mountain.
You know, this would be a lot easier if you would just stop being so stubborn.
Vilivin thrust his head at the source of the voice in complete shock. He thought this entire place was inside his own head. If it was, who the fuck was this?
I'm Arakash. He looked very similar to Orag, but in the strangest way. He seemed to represent so much more than the only other Vryn Vilivin had observed could ever be. He was, well, perfect in musculature, and absurdly calm and sure of himself. He had this strange smile about him. He radiated an invisible kind of energy.
Lore! Vilivin finally realized the name of the creature Orag had grown within him. It's called Lore, and it is me, and it wants to know me. I remember it. There was something called that in the Heart stories. Lore. Estraja. What? Vilivin trailed off as he noticed the other man was only gripping the wall with a single finger of his right hand and one of the toes of his right foot. The rest of him dangled free of any care in the world. At least he was wearing pants, small miracles and such.
Arakash smiled and laughed. He had an air of good-natured humor in all of his gestures. You're new here. I don't want to pry, but I do get morose when people don't visit for long periods of time. It would be nice to know when you're coming back again.
Who are you? Vilivin searched his limited recollection of the Heart stories. Are you related to Estraja? Vilivin erupted with excitement at the idea of it.
Arakash smiled with joy, and then it faded off. No. I mean, not technically. I'm not technically related to anyone. I'm sure you could say I'm related to everyone, sort of. More importantly, just Vryn and those that inherit Vryn abilities, I think. Arakash fell into a still somehow happy sort of sadness. But really, I'm not related to anyone in the way that you were asking me. I'm not related to anyone. You know.
Are you, Vilivin almost didn't want to say it aloud. A god?
No. Arakash looked more than a little confused and hurt somehow, like he'd been in this misunderstood situation far too often to ever enjoy it in any way.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean, my bad? Vilivin had to readjust his hands and feet to keep from slipping. He just had to keep speaking to this man more than he required breath in his lungs.
Well, to be fair, I don't know that I'm not. A god, I mean. It's just so blah to go around saying you are one, isn't it? Like, who would want to do that? Certainly not someone that deserves the title, right?
Vilivin smiled. It's nice to make your acquaintance. Vilivin took the risk of freeing one hand, making sure his feet were firmly planted before he did, offering it up to Arakash.
The utter, shocked, exuberant look of glee and outright joy that crossed Arakash's features, prior to him gladly taking the offered hand and shaking with enough force to almost fling Vilivin off into the void. Sorry. I guess I don't know my own strength. I haven't spoken to anyone for ages and ages. This is all so exciting.
Arakash, how did you get here? In my head, I mean. How is it that you are here, right now, with me?
Arakash looked taken aback by complete surprise. Awed, even. And then, as if he were about to cry. But then he did cry, and he stepped right off of the wall onto solid air. A neat trick. You have no idea what you've just done. What a gift this day has become. In all my time, across all the seamless spans of distance, and that other thing everyone else is always talking about. No one else has ever said my name, my real and true proper name. He broke down into a complete sobbing mess, holding Vilivin in a bone-shattering bear hug and threatening to squeeze him into a paste.
Please let me go before I die! Please!
Oh, sorry. Again, I don't know my own strength. Arakash took up a position back on the wall, seemingly beside himself with both tear-strewn bouts of joy and apoplectic regret.
It's okay, just don't squeeze all the blood out of me. I need it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forget, because, I don't have any blood, so, I don't remember that sort of stuff.
No one's ever called you Arakash before. But that's your name. That's the first thing you said to me. Vilivin sort of asked and sort of stated.
I know! It's the first thing I say to everyone! Arakash exclaimed, looking like he was at the top of the world. A lip formed in the face of the cliff, one large enough for the pair of them to sit upon. Arakash flung himself upon it with ease. Vilivin had a lot more trouble pulling himself up onto the ledge. Arakash reached over and helped him with the last little bit, moving over to gaze out at an ocean above a swirling, chaotic sky that made little, if any, sense at all.
So, what do they call you instead of Arakash? What name do they use?
Well, I think Estraja just set the tone. He made up a name, and then everybody started calling me that, because no one could hear me when I told them my name. It's like it was blank for them. It was so painful to want them to know my name. I couldn't even spell it out for them. It was like their minds couldn't understand who I was. There aren't really words. There's nothing I couldn't...
You mean your lore? You're the living energy inside the Vryn. You're the living energy inside of me now. How is that possible?
Don't know. Don't care. I've got a friend again. Arakash got scared after he stated it so plainly. Then worried. Then abjectly terrified. I don't want to impose. I shouldn't have said it without.
It's okay. Vilivin put his arm around the alien creature just like his older brother had done before he went off to fight in the war with the Sildarum, before he never came back home. If your lore, the Vryn connection to hive energy, then you have helped me already, a great deal, and friends help each other. It was so odd, this moment where Vilivin was now taking up his brother's position in this. Such a very similar conversation. His only friend throughout his entire life, because of all the strange things he didn't want to think about. And now, he had a new one.
How did you get here? I mean, how did you find me? I thought no one was ever going to visit me again. Arakash seemed lost and alone, terrified of what had happened to him ever occurring again.
Vilivin remembered that unique sensation of horror. It was exactly how he'd felt, sitting on the edge of their family farmhouse, when the news came. Orag showed me the way.
Orag's dead. He's been dead for 1,000,000 years. More, probably, Arakash stated, and it was Vilivin's turn to be the shocked one of the pair.
He took me into the mountain. He put the spark of lore into my mind and spirit. He showed me how to find you, the correct path. Orag is alive. He must be.
He was, I think, sort of, for a long time. I could feel him, distantly. He gave me hope. I couldn't feel how he felt, but knowing he was there, just out of reach, it made it more bearable. Not always, though. Arakash looked back out into the haywire expanse of surreal vistas, as if searching for something within the display to hide his pain within.
Vilivin had to be sure. I don't know why you would lie to me, Arakash. You're my friend. You're not supposed to lie to me.
I'm not lying to you, Arakash demanded. Part of him was alive until a couple of days ago, and then he was gone, and now you're here. That's all I know. Please believe me. Please.
You don't know what happened to him at all.
I'm not God. I don't know everything. I wasn't here. Then one day I was. Then one day I met Estraja, a while after, and then I met a bunch of people, and then I was alone. For so long I was alone, and Orag was too distant to reach, no matter how hard I tried. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't reach him.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I put you through that. Vilivin forgave the other man, and in a way, himself. You're not God. Both of them shared a good long laugh, as if they'd known one another since the beginning of time. And they had. Vilivin shut his eyes. You are my friend, Arakash. My brother. You are with me now. He felt the tears rolling down his face. I will teach you how to become strong, like my brother once taught me. He had to stop to catch his hesitant, faltering breaths, but regathered his strength. Vilivin had to be strong for Arakash. I will show the entire universe your path and your power. When I am finished, Vilivin pressed his head against Arakash's. When I die, when I am finally forced to leave you as I fade away to nothing, everyone in all places and all times will know and respect the courage and inherent strength of the name Arakash. Vilivin opened his eyes, the storm finally abating outside the cavern halfway up the mountaintop. He saw the skeleton of Orag, one hand embedded in the frozen rippling surface of a pond-like stone wall beside him, the other arm fused with a defunct, shattered hive, melted and flash-fried by incredible torrents of energy ages ago. Vilivin approached his fallen comrade. Thank you, Orag. You sacrificed so much and have given the universe such a magnificent gift. I will remember you and tell others of your deeds. Vilivin walked from the cave, barely noticing the bitter cold wind, warmed from his absolute foundation, kept dry by the caring touch, fed great towering battlements of strength, power, and will. Arakash. all will know the name of Arakash. And so it is. Our time together has once more come to its end. I hope each and every one of you enjoyed the tale as much as I have the telling of it. As always, I've been your skillful host, Lothrin, and this was Fleet Part 45, An Odd Conversation, another tale right from the heart of the Jakuls. And now, sadly, ever so sadly, we must once again part ways. Korvoth, guide them back along the proper path, back to the safety they know all too well.
Yes, sir, Lothrin. I don't know what to say. It was magnificent. It made me cry. Tears of joy. I know what that means now. A pleasant greeting and a fond farewell to each and all. Please leave all your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. Don't you let me catch a single one of you leaving any of that rude, awful, or horrible stuff, though. You keep all that malarkey to yourselves. Got it? Got my eye on you. You don't put that stuff down there. You go away. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to help us learn, spread, and grow. And don't forget that we strongly encourage each and every one of you to stay safe out there. See you again tomorrow for the discussion. And I understand this one now, just like Lothrin said I would. Good night and good luck. You'll need it. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.